Hey YouTube, this is KShire22 here bringing you guys a brand new video. Today what we'll be going over is how to check if your application was launched or invoked as administrator, and then if it wasn't, how you can actually restart it as administrator. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of functionality. Once you have all of your controls that you're wanting on your form, we can go ahead, double click on the background of the form, and that'll pop up the form 1 load. From here we'll be able to add in some code to see whether or not it was invoked as admin. But first, before we go ahead and copy and paste that code in there, we're going to want to go ahead and import system security principal. Once you have that in there, you can actually, from the description, go ahead and copy and paste a code, which I will provide. Let's see here. And this is the code you're going to want. So essentially, it's going to declare a few variables here. It's going to figure out whether it is or isn't elevated. Essentially, these are the only 3 codes you need, and then we have an if statement, which we're going to be able to add functionality to. So if it is elevated, we don't need to do anything necessarily, except for hide this button. So button 3, visible equals false. Now if it is not elevated, we're going to go ahead and put label 1.text is equal to not invoked as admin. And I think that's about all we need to do. Add our exit button and change this to new.close. Now we need the functionality for restart as administrator. Now I've actually gathered this code into its own sub. So if you would like, you can copy and paste this in there, and it's pretty much the same as the other one. It's going ahead and it's going to restart it with some additional properties set for the start information. Okay, so for button 3, we would just type in restart elevated. And I can actually add that to form load. I can do it to button 2, but if I add this to form 1 load, it'll actually cause the system to restart and restart and restart. Okay, so we can go ahead and give this a shot. Once it starts up, so we can see it was not invoked as administrator, we can start it as administrator, and it'll tell you that it was invoked as admin. Now another cool functionality that you could actually do is, so if it was not invoked as admin, we can actually add this in up here, restart elevated, so that way it will always make sure that it's restarted as administrator or started up as. Now that is actually not the most practical way of doing this, because there's actually, you can go into the properties of the program and change it so it automatically does that. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can do that. You're going to go to project properties. I believe it's okay. I'm just going off memory, guys. View settings. Okay. As invoker. So we're going to go ahead and, so if we were to, we can actually change this as required administrator. Go ahead and paste this here instead. Now when we hit start, it'll actually want Microsoft Visual Studio to restart. But what I can go ahead and do is just build the program. You can go ahead and open the file path. Okay, once you're at the file path, you can just open it. It'll actually always invoke it as admin. And there's actually not hardly anything you can do unless you use like a third-party program. It's going to always run it as administrator. So sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad, depending on what your program's being used for. But Like I said, these codes will be down in the description. Please comment if you have any questions. Otherwise, rate and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.